Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Mauling League's Dungeon Bowl, week number 6. Happy Capcom Marvel Fighting Collection Day. It's the first time we can buy Marvel vs. Capcom 2 in a decade. I mean, wait. Blood Bowl! That's a Blood Bowl. We've got a very important match here. We've got a Division A matchup in the race to win the division tonight. We're gonna have Kind Peacocks versus Deadly Biscuits, a Kind Sir versus Run Bad, Imperial Nobility versus Black Orcs. Let's take a look at the standings before we take a look at these two teams. Nurgle's Rot. 3 stream streak, thank you very much. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being a fellow Blood Bowl enjoyer. I love this game. Division A in first place, dethroning the league champion for the first time in this competition. The Kind Peacocks, coached by a Kind Sir and Imperial Nobility team, 3-1-1 is their record. They are up tonight against the third place team, the Deadly Biscuits. Run Bad's Black Orc team, 2-2-0 is their record. Look at the top 4 teams all duking it out to try to make the top 4 in just 2 weeks. Week 7 is the end of regulation. After that, the top team from each of the 3 divisions will make the top 4, as will the best second place team between the 3 divisions. So the heat is on, the pressure has been turned up, and we've got 2 top teams here in Division A duking it out head to head to try to get at the top of the leaderboard. In Division B, JD Whitey's Forest of Flames, a Wood Elf team, they are in first place comfortably with a record of 4-0-0. They are followed by BB Nuts, Harlequins, BBFC. An Undead team, 3-0-1 is their record. Rodentia's still in the running there as well. Spire's team in third place. Skaven team, 2-2-1 is their record. And in Division C, things are shaping up a little earlier than the other divisions. Cenozoic Park, Nick Satan's Lizardman team, 4-4-0 is their record, comfortably in first place. With the Tizork Savage Boys in second, Tizzle Bizzle's Orc team, 1-4-0 is their record. Maximum Von Zito jumping into third place with their win this week. They are 2-0-2 in third place. Tonight, we're going to take a look first at the Kind Peacocks. They're the home team this evening. They're coming in at a TV of 1,200,000 gold, a full 11-player roster to start this evening. They have their big guy, Humongous the Ogre, 2 blitzers, 4 bodyguards, and a bunch of linemen. That's an imp team, 1 apothecary, 4 dedicated fans, 2 rerolls. They're going to be up against this Black Orc team this evening. Run Bad's Deadly Biscuits. They're coming in at a TV of 955,000 gold. They're going to be down a player to start with. They don't really have the money to pick up anybody but a goblin, so they might just hold on to that money, pick up a journeyman. Regardless, that's going to be 200k in petty cash that will be coming back to the Deadly Biscuits. We'll talk about what he might do with that money in just a minute. Has 5 of the 6 Black Orcs, 1 troll, and a bunch of goblins. 2 dedicated fans, 2 rerolls. How are these 2 teams going to play tonight? Well, let's take a look at the home team first, because I think they might have the advantage here. The home team, this is an Imperial Nobility team. They're a control team, a very difficult team to coach, but a Kind Sir has been making it look easy, just dominating with this team, doing a very, very good job. Again, in first place in Division A, that is the division with the current league champion. He's dethroned the league champion, is now in first place, and just doing a fantastic job with this team. The Ogre, Strength 5, right? Natural control. Strength 5 allows you to set that player as an anchor on the pitch. He can stay put. He can exert tackle zones, force a lot of players to come in on the assist to try to take the block on the Ogre. The Blitzers. The Blitzers are great pieces as well. They come with block. You pick up dodge, you now have a dodger. They have the catch skill as well if you need to throw the ball to them, but they're very fast with an MA of 7, decent stat line otherwise. He does have tackle on Richard Long. Richard Long, a blodger with tackle, that's great. The 4 bodyguards, they have stand firm and wrestle. Wrestle means on a both down result, he can just go down, doesn't have to armor break, but the drive doesn't end either. Stand firm, another great control skill, right? Stand firm says if you get pushed back, you don't actually have to get pushed back. So they can stay in place, exert those tackle zones, control that pitch. He has guard on Johnson. Guard gives you the free assist, whether you're marked or not. That's a great skill to pick up. And then the 4 linemen here. He's picked up block on Rodney. The linemen all come with Fen, which means if you get pushed back, the opponent can't follow you up if Fen is used. Picked up the block skill on Rodney, a solid pickup on any player really that doesn't have the block skill. Randomed into strip ball and sure hands. Not the worst. Sure hands is great. And strip ball, maybe he can make use of strip ball as well. And then has the rookie lineman as well. So a control team here where he's trying to control the pitch. He's trying to carve out sections of the pitch and lock it down in his favor to be able to move that ball down pitch. That's very, very difficult to do, right? Because generally in Blood Bowl, kind of in a broad categories, you're either punching people in the face or you're running really fast and agile, right? And this is a team that doesn't really do either of those. Instead, they try to lock down sections of the pitch so they can move the ball down the pitch. And that can be very difficult to do. But again, Keinster has been doing a real good job of it. Really, the only weakness in this matchup tonight, I think, is going to be the lack of an extra reroll. He's only got the 2 rerolls, doesn't have a third one. I think the third one probably the sweet spot on this roster. Doesn't have it, so needs to watch the reroll usage and just have excellent action order, which he has had all competition long, and I think he'll be all right. Run Bad has lost one of his Blackworks. This is a big loss on this roster and doesn't have the money to hire a new one. Moreover, because they got started late in the season, they're starting here in the Dungeonbowl. They're a low TV team and don't have a lot of skills, and I think that really hurts this team, not just in general, but in this matchup as well. This is a bashy team. They want to bash. They want to murder people. The Blackworks all have Brawler, which Brawler is like a poor man's block. He gets to re-roll a both down result for free. Picked up block on Malted Milk. I think that's a solid pickup. That makes both down absolutely safe on Malted Milk, and picked up the guard skill as well. But not a lot of block, right? Just one player with block. So Brawler is okay, but not as good as block for sure. And the Train Troll with Mighty Blow, that's great to try to remove players, but doesn't have the block skill and is a loner. And you only have 2 rerolls. So it's going to be really difficult, I think, for Deadly Biscuits to be able to play the strategic game that they want to play, and that is to murder other pieces. The grab skill is interesting, right? So the grab skill in the Blackworks, they can pick players up. It's the inverse of sidestep. You can pick them up and put them wherever you want, adjacent to where they were. This is interesting against a control team because a control team really wants players to be in certain positions on the pitch, in key positions on the pitch. If Run Bad can leverage those 5 Blackworks and move key players, can't do all of them obviously, you only have the 5 Blackworks, some are going to be tied up on the line. If you can move key players out of position, maybe that formation crumbles, maybe the pitch control starts to falter, and then a Keinster needs to backfill that with players maybe at the fringes or maybe in the backfield. That might be an option for him, but again, the big risk here, and it's not just the 2 rerolls, but the Goblins. He's going to have 5 Goblins on this roster rather than 4 and 5 Blackworks. The Goblins are all strength 2, they're stunty, they're AV8, they're very brittle. It's going to be difficult to keep them alive. And he's going to have to. He's going to have to find a way to keep these Goblins alive, or he's going to go down significantly in player count. And, you lose 5 players. I don't care what they are. I don't care if they're all Goblins. It's very, very difficult to stop an offense or to set up a defense or even get an offense going when you just don't have the numbers. But these are 2 excellent coaches. They've been at the top of the leaderboard. They're well-known. Blood Bowl players, always fun to watch them play. We'll see if Run Bad has something up his sleeve. Certainly a better coach than Fungus the Loon. I didn't even talk about the star player. So he picked up the ball and chain. Bomber Dribble Snot. So we've got 2 secret weapons coming onto the pitch. Bomber Dribble Snot, one of my favorite. He's got a big bag of bombs. Deadly Biscuits win the coin toss. We'll see if they kick off or receive. Have the coaches always been at center pitch for this? That's awesome. If that's a new, if that's an update, that's great. Hoppo stabs us. Welcome to the stream. Says I think I might have watched this game live last night. Oh. Kai Peacocks are going to be on defense to start the game. Deadly Biscuits won the coin toss, and they will set up on offense. They're going to set up, have the momentum, but more importantly, they're going to have their full roster to make something happen here. Bomber Dribble's not a can chuck bombs, right? So we saw Ian use this to wonderful effect in an earlier season of Blood Bowl. It might have been season 3, maybe season 2. Where he chucked the bomb to his thrower, had the thrower chuck the bomb with accurate. It just blew up the cage. It was glorious. Oh, they were? I must not have noticed them. Welcome to Stream Spire. I'm very excited for the Capcom Marvel Fighting Collection. Came out today or yesterday. I don't know. I bought it today. It is a collection of effectively every Marvel game. Every Marvel game every Marvel fighting game except for Marvel vs. Capcom 3. It's been about 10 years since you could buy Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which I love. So I'm very excited. It has X-Men Children of the Atom. It has Marvel Superheroes, Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2. Very, very excited to spend many, many hours in this collection. Doesn't have crossplay, unfortunately. 3 on the line for the defense. Shifted to the left, screening out the offense with everyone else. Old Gamer Mike, welcome to the stream. Old Gamer Mike says, I think the coaches were harder to see before. I did not see it before this patch. Yeah, maybe so. Spire says, let the week of Death Part 2 begin. We can only hope. So Fungus the Loon, right? He's spinning this ball and chain. He's going to choose a direction to move. And then whatever he knocks out, he's going to knock out. He's going to do that 3 times. Whether it's going to stay the same, it's going to bounce an extra space. It's going to be in the hands of Jamie Blodger, the kickoff return player. It's called a whirling dervish. So there was the knockdown on Rodney. This is the second roll. Yep. And here's the third. Peter the Second's going to get knocked down. So that's how it works. Did I block by malted milk? Gets the knockdown here. Iron Cynic, welcome to the stream. Says I was so torn between here and a kind sir. One of the commentary and production values, so you win. I appreciate it very much. I don't think you could go wrong with either. I think the Blood Bowl community is open and welcoming. There's lots of cool people, and I very much appreciate you hanging out here. Very kind of you to say. And let's hope people die. Where else can you say that? Let's hope some people die today. Let's all get along and hope people die today. 2-dot blitz on the left side of the pitch here. We're going to knock down, breaks armor. Gets a stun with Choco Gobnobs. Concert didn't even consider the new stars. Yeah, and they have their special abilities now, right? Trying for the short pass here. What? Yeah, oh, it's the bomber. I was like, what? Good knockdown here on Humongous. Cobblestorm BB, welcome to the stream. Rooting for the defense here. Wants this Imperial Nobility team to come out on top. Turn 1 now for said team. So remember, Bomber Dribblesnot and Fungus the Loon, they're both secret weapons. So this is the only drive they're going to be on the pitch unless Runbad successfully argues the call. Runbad? What am I talking about? yeah, Runbad. I'm so confused. If Runbad argues the call. So I've got a bunch of screens going, right? And the one screen where like the game update is, it like flickered out for a bit, and I'm like, oh, what just happened? Two-die stand-up blitz by Humongous gets a push on Crunch Creams Golden, the #1 trained troll. Oh my goodness, am I going to have to hear him spinning all drive? So they'll only be on the pitch for a drive unless Runbat successfully argues the call. So he really wants to make as much use out of him as possible here on this drive. Turn 2 now for the Deadly Biscuits. They have the ball on their own 6-yard line in the hands of Jamie Blodger, the level 2 Goblin lineman. This is the sure hands player. Old Gamer Mike says spinners are so fun. That's why Goblins, I think, are fun. I think all the teams have something really cool going on with them, but that's perhaps clearly is why Goblins are so fun. I mean, they're just rotten little scoundrels. All right, there's the first roll. Here's the second with the ball and chain. Gonna hit Woody, who is on the ground. This is the other aspect of the ball and chain here. You just whatever you're moving into, you're rolling dice. Apo Stabza says, I gotta set up a Skaven Underworld team so I can take Creek. Yeah, I gotta familiarize myself with all the once per turn abilities, so I know who I'm taking at what petty cash values. And there goes Rot rooting for this Black Orc team. Ball ends up caged up on the opposing 4-yard line here on turn 2. Another bomb attempt. Got the knockdown here. So another aspect of these bombs are just passes. So if you end up throwing it to a player, that player can attempt to catch it. And if they do, they then immediately throw that bomb again. Turn 2 now for a kind Peacock. Bomber dribble stunt so far on point with the passes, with the bombardiering. He's going to stand right back up. Took a bomb to the face. Says no problem. I'm a professional. Kind of Peacocks keeping the secondary position, staying in front of this cage. I think this is good. Good action order, A. And B, you need to keep those players in front. You don't want them to get picked off, left behind, because they're just not going to get through the strength to get back into position. Turn 3 now for the Deadly Biscuits. Oh wow, did they fix the bug with the bonus clocks too? It doesn't say 2 minutes over here. I think maybe they fixed this. 2-die block on the number 4 bodyguard Johnson. He's the guardsman. Gets knocked down, has stand firm, so he'll stay put. And now 2-die block on Woody. Breaks armor here. Gets a stun out of it. See how the block dice there did not rise like the edge dice do? I don't like that. Like the block dice stay put, but the edge dice sort of float a little bit. Oh, you know what? It's not the edge dice. I think it's the first roll stays put and subsequent rolls rise. Wait, did you see that? That was not English. What was that? That was not English that just showed up. I guess that was French. 48 seconds to go here for the Deadly Biscuits. Good 3+ dodge. Remember, it takes a foul here. Lots of assists on the foul. Got 2 assists. Broke armor. Got a stun. Did not get called off the pitch. Gonna end the turn with another pass. He'll be ending his turn with these bomber passes. Oh, there we go. Rodney has caught the ball. Gamer Mike says, well, Runbat is Canadian. So now Rodney gets to pass this ball. Skill ID. Skill ID. Choose a destination square. sounds like there's a flat file or a database or something that's incomplete. Oh, wait. Did I do that? That couldn't have been me. That's gonna scare me. That's gonna scare me if I actually did that. So nothing was happening until I clicked a button. Okay, that wasn't me. All right, got a K. Wait, what? Oh no. Rodney with the ball decides to throw the ball right next door. Gets a stun out of this, and Fungus the Loon gets KO. Good KO here for the kind Peacocks. Yeah, so nothing happened until I clicked a button there, which really scared me. Two-die block on Willie here. This is gonna be a turnover unless a reroll's spent. Deadly Biscuits are really considering whether this is worth it or not. Trying to figure out if the ball carrier is going to be safe, or at least safe enough. Moves there nice. Says, did he KO his own star player? No, Rodney caught the bomb and then re-threw it. So ended up taking the both down result. Good trade on the both down, but now the blitz on the ball carrier. 2-die blitz. That'll do it. Jamie Blodger going to remain on the pitch. The ball is going to scatter or bounce to the 2-yard line. What is that ball? Is that just pure chaos? All right, turn 4 for the Deadly Biscuits. They're going to stand up, crunch, creams, golden. The Black Orc team needs to get into this scrum, start punching to recover this ball. 2 hits, gets a pal on Richard Long. Good pal here against the Blodger. To boot. Great removal here, removing one of those blitzers. This Imperial team. High speed and MA. There was a Blodger as well. Knockdown, Little Dicky. That's gets a dodge push out of this. Clears the ball, recovers with Jamie Blodger, but fails the rush. Oh no! Fails the rush. Spencer Reed would be a turnover. Oh, that's rough. That's so... Cleared the ball. Got the ball, but could not. That extra space. Final turn. Now, need to pivot. The ball is on the on their own 8-yard line. Wide zone. Looking for a way to maybe recover this ball and not have to get into a scrum to fight over it. Gamer Mike graciously failure rate from 900% to 99%. A private, the level 1 bodyguard, him out of the way to clear the ball. There are actually 2 Division A is between the Dead Poets and our grudge is with Nuffle. That's S Beaver and Arabs. S Beavers, the Dead Poets currently in 4th place. If they win, they'll have 10 points, and they could conceivably advance into first place at the end of weeks 1 and 2. They could get right back up there. Rolls double pushes on Bomber. Bomber dribbles 1 space away to the right. Kind Peacocks on the bonus clock now. How's he going to make sure that this ball is secure? Well, failed to dodge, tried to get it on the ball. Dodge needed a 3+, rolled a 2. The ball's going to bounce into the left wide zone now. Turn 5 for the quarter begins. Problem for the Biscuits here is those black orcs are really, really important. And most of them, well, indeed, all of them are tied up currently. Two-die block push here. Firm means he can stay right in place. Very, very good skill. Two-die block on Peter. The second gets a push. The second is a Fen player. He's the lineman, so he can follow up whether you want to or not. And now two-die block on John bodyguard. This will be a knockdown. It's rush blitz on private. It's going to use the team reroll here. Not going to risk brawler. So far, not a good turn here for the Deadly Biscuits. Party Fling's going to move 1 space to the left and will mark Wang Chung the second and Peter the second. Will eat a block from one of them. Bomber, no! Oh no, Bomber fumbled the pass. And blew himself up. Bomber! Oh! Oh, bombs are deadly. You got to be careful when you're handling bombs. When you're in a sporting event, handle very careful not to blow yourself up. All right, both secret weapons, they're done. Well, I guess Fungless fight come back. Nuffle wills it. Bomber. I like to think that he just lit the bomb, dropped it on the ground. I'm stuttering for anyone else. I don't see any dropped frames, so I would wager a guess that the answer is no. Good recovery here by the number. The Blodger, Lil Dicky, will pick up this ball and now has it on the Kind Peacock's own 2-yard line, just off the left wide zone. And now they're going to set up this half cage here, push players away to keep this ball carrier safe. Might see a dodge out of the left, out of not. I Cynics seems like they haven't worked out for run bad. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Two-die block against Bourbon Creams gets a POW out of this. So no doubt, much better option here by Kyle. Repositions Richard Long in that. Huh. Let me know if it's real bad, if it's restart the stream, but I'm not seeing any problems on my end. Good eye block against Woody. Breaks armor here. Gets a stun out of it. So now the Deadly Biscuits are going to have a real difficult time getting onto this ball too. And that's always a risky proposition, being so frail and so weak. You might just be throwing them to the wolves. .53 seconds to go for the Deadly Biscuits here in turn 6. They started off on offense. They've lost the ball. Yeah, there's 2 dodges by Tim Tam to take a mark on the back left corner of Lil Dicky the ball carrier. Tried to dodge forward to get another mark in front of the ball carrier. Failed the dodge. And now we'll see if Tim Tam stays on the pitch. Turn 6 for Kind Peacocks. They're going to take off unless Nuffle says otherwise here on the impending blitz on Tim Tam. Here it is. 2-die blitz. That's enough. Tim Tam will be surfed. Little Dicky will take off. Well done by Kind Sir. Good removal. And there he is, Little Dicky taking off now on the opposing 14-yard line. Repossessioning the rest of the players into that left wide zone. Little Dicky virtually unstoppable at this point. Great defense by the Kind Peacocks after some mishaps with the secret weapon star players. Wait, Twitch streams the NFL? I had no idea. Armor break by the ogre. My goodness, that would have actually murdered someone. Got a stun out of this. I could certainly explain it. 12 seconds left on the clock for the Kind Peacocks now. Excellent defense to recover this ball, and they are almost certainly going to score at the end of this half. Turn 7 now for the Deadly Biscuits. Run bad. Looking for a way to maximize his dice here. Two-die block on Johnson will just get a push, and Johnson once again is going to stay right where he is, holding down the fort. Willie's going to get knocked down here. 8+ breaks armor on these linemen. There's the armor break. Really wants a removal here. And then he got it. Well done. First removal of the day for the Deadly Biscuits. Two good dodges by Jamie Blodger. And now the two-die block on Rodney is going to be a turnover. Well, not a good first half so far for these Black Orcs. Turn 7 now for Kind Peacocks. It was a tough fight. Like we mentioned in the pregame, it was a tough fight going into this, I think. Parks the ball in the 24 right outside the end zone. Will score next turn. Nobody's going to be able to stop him. And now looking to get some removals on these goblins. Got a stun. Probably won't risk the foul, but we'll see. Yep, 2-die blitz on Choco Gobnobs. Gets the knockdown here. No armor break. Tough to break the armor on the Black Orcs. They have an AV of 10+. Big difference between AV 8+, 9+, and 10+. It seems linear, but it's not. See, Kind Sir doing a great job here with just the fundamentals of Blood Bowl. Just action orders really on point. Getting those 2-die blocks with the block skill, the 2-die blocks. Taking him in order from least risky action to most risky action. Thereby increasing the odds that he'll be able to activate all of his players rather than failing a roll at the beginning of the turn and then failing to activate a number of other players. And these imps have no problem dodging. the goblins with the dodge skills somehow can't dodge. Stands up the Black Orcs. Stands up the Trained Troll here in turn 8 for the Deadly Biscuits. They have no rerolls remaining for the half. They're not going to be able to stop the score. They're looking to beat up some Imperial Nobility players. Both standing result can't get anything out of it. Uphill block on Humongous. That's going to be a turnover. Turn 8 now for the Kind Peacocks. They have 2 rerolls remaining. We'll probably look for some blocks before scoring. We'll see what Kind Sir elects to do here. Two-die block or 2-die blitz on Choco Gobnobs gets a push out of this. Still has plenty of blocks to take. Here's the second. Gets a pal this time. Looking for a 10+. Coming in for the block on the Trained Troll. Or not on the Trained Troll, on Jaffa Snakes. Gets a pal here. So nothing out of the blocks. Walks the ball in. And the Kind Peacocks are going to take the lead in this ball game. They lead 1-0 going into the second half. I don't like that change. You can't see who's coming back here. You have to wait. Uh-oh. Oh, it's a pause. Wait, what? Looks like somebody's disconnected. So we're on the 4-minute clock. In Blood Bowl 3, if you disconnect in the middle of the game, you get 4 minutes to reconnect. You get that timer no matter how many times you disconnect, but the timer never resets. So if you can't get in within that 4-minute timer, you unfortunately have to forfeit the match. It can be very difficult for people with bad connections, or maybe on a day with a bad connection. You never want to lose a game that way. It's always gut wrenching. All right. All right. So Fungus the Loon is indeed back into this game here. Argued the call, failed the argue, spent the bribe. The ref gladly took the bribe, and now Fungus will come back onto the pitch. He has 12 players on the pitch currently. I didn't even know that was possible. Like, how do you fix... What is happening right now? How do you fix this? Do you just click in the reserve box? I guess you do. So now the Deadly Biscuits on defense, screening out the Imps, just the way the Imps did against this Black Orc team in the first half. So the Imperial Nobility team had nobody in reserve, so it's going to be a one-man player advantage for the Deadly Biscuits here. Deadly Biscuits currently in third place. A win will put them into first place ahead of the Kind Peacocks. This is the Kind Peacocks' final game in regulation here. Every team gets a bye week. There are 7 weeks in regulation here in the Dungeonbowl. After week 7, that is when the standings are calculated for the cut to top 4. So the Kind Peacocks absolutely want a win here to try to solidify their spot in first place, and if not, hopefully have enough of a standing in second place to make the cut. Troll kick. That kick went out of the stadium. Are you kidding me? Kind Peacocks earn a reroll here. That's not what... well, the Kind Peacocks will certainly take that reroll. This Black Orc team certainly did not want that to happen. Ball's kicked to the 22-yard line in the right wide zone. Two-die block, get things started in the left defensive end. Gets double pals out of this. New armor break. Two-die block on malted milk. You get a knockdown. And the right defensive end coming up here. Probably a block with... All right. I was going to say one of these two bodyguards ends up being Woody. Much safer to take that block than to take it with the ogre. Humans are my favorite team in Blood Bowl. I almost always pick up an ogre on my human team, and big guys often have a nega trait. The nega trait for the ogre is boneheaded. They have to roll a d6 before they activate. If it's a 1, they lose their action. They lose their tackle zones, and of course, being a big guy, they are loners as well. So it's often better to just not take the block with the ogre, with that ogre, and just have him eating up a spot on the pitch. And you can see the Kind Peacocks doing exactly that here. Repositions that ogre over to the left wide zone. Strength 5 means that if you have a standard strength of 3, then that means you need 3 assists to get the two-die block on the ogre. That's 4 players tied up trying to knock that ogre down. It's often not worth it, and therefore the ogre really good at pit control and exerting those tackle zones. Fails to pick up here, is not going to waste the reroll and to pick up the ball. Very safe currently. And now turn 9 for the Deadly Biscuits. Whole Gamer makes us halfling trees don't. They are OP. I love treemen. I know nobody else does, but I love treemen. And so you're not going to get any argument from me. Fungus the Loon with these 3 random movements. Here we go. Old Gamer Mike says Runbat has been playing Goblins non-stop post update. Wonder if that helps with his Orc team play. Maybe so. Yeah, Goblins are a lot of fun just because they have all those, they get cheap fouls. They have all those secret weapons. They're the canonical fouling team. Applying early pressure here with this defense, using the fast players on the roster. That's the Goblins, the MA of 6. Tried to throw Jenny Blodger here. Jenny Blodger is going to stay put and is stunned. He got squeezed a little too hard by Crunch Creams Golden. Tried to get another Goblin down pitch to apply more pressure on this ball. Didn't work out. Turn 10 now for Kind Peacocks. 2-die blitz on Party Fling. This is a knockdown. 8+ breaks armor. It's not a knockdown because he has wrestle. Did I block on Gobnob here? Will be wrestled this time by the bodyguard. Iron Cynic says, a lot of people think they're the best big guys. I don't, but a lot seem to. Treeman? Yeah, I think they're great. I think Treeman are great. I know that is contentious, but I really, really think they're good. I think, you know, they're super duper high strength, super high EV. Nobody's taking them down. I mean, if you get a shot, if the stars align, right, you might get a shot at taking them down. If you can knock down a Treeman, that can be very good because they don't have enough MA to stand up. They got to roll a die to stand up. They're also very, very slow, and everybody also mentions take root. But, hey, if you're going to be at center pitch for 80, 90% of the drive anyway, who cares? Who cares if you don't move? Who cares if you take root? Kind Peacocks. Pull back Humongous to try to set up a cage in front of the ball carrier. Knocks down those aggressive goblins, but didn't get a removal. Fails a dodge here, gets a stun for his troubles. Tried to dodge Woody away. Woody's going to be stunned on the pitch. We'll see how significant this stun is. I don't think it's too bad here for our kind sir. Turn 10 now for Deadly Biscuits. And once again, Fungus the Loon haphazardly moving around the pitch. Gets a knockdown, but no armor break on Wang Chung II. So he swings his way back to center pitch in that center position. Jaffa Snakes moves forward to take a mark on Johnson. Blitz still on the table here. Oh, Gamer Mike says you can use wrestle to unroot yourself. If your opponent lets you. Yeah, sure. Like if an opponent knocks you down, you can unroot yourself. So don't knock down a rooted tree. Leave it alone. Let it flourish. No! Wow, rough game for the Deadly Biscuits. Gobnob dodges and kills himself. Sorry, Gobnob. Gotta be more careful. Gotta watch where you're going. Turn 11 out for the kind Peacocks. So now a one-man player advantage for the Peacocks now. Trying to make that a two-man player advantage. Didn't work out. Oh, actually, I think it's tied up on the pitch. 10v10. Iron Cynic says, take root is so much worse than other negative traits in my opinion. I understand high movement teams can hang around midfield. I guess I just want them to be a factor for more than 4 rounds of a drive. Fair enough. Yeah, you know, and I guess it is important to understand the context. Like, are we talking about tree men in terms of halfling teams, or are we talking about tree men in terms of wood elf teams? Little Dicky. Once again, the ball carrier has the ball on the kind Peacock's own 14-yard line, just inside the left wide zone now. One die push on Jaffa Snakes. Wow, you're not talking about lagged. That is very behind. So that explains a lot, right? Because that's not me at all. Like, I have no control over that. So there's probably Lots and lots and lots of activity tonight on Twitch, which I guess maybe has to do with the NFL. Two-die block now against Rodney. Rodney! Breaks armor. Gets a stun. But thank you very much for the bits, Old Gamer Mike. I appreciate it. Fungus Saloon is gonna ball and chain around the pitch again. There's one. And now Powell and Jaffa Snakes. You'll push that away. He really wants to go after Jaffa Snakes. He spends the reroll here. He'll get a push out of this. Wow. Fungus does not... What happened in the locker room between these two? Fungus the Loon just really does not like Jaffa Snakes. Had to spend a reroll there to keep Jaffa Snakes on his feet and keep the drive alive. Apo Stabs us says, so Nuffle's clogging up the Twitch server. Very, very true. In more ways than one. Quite literally. Turn 12 now for the Kind Peacocks. Kind Peacocks in possession on their own 14-yard line. Really just trying to stay away from the Black Orcs. That's the name of the game here. Keeping everybody tied up. Might shift this ball back to the right side. If he can get the protection, he might shift back here. Two-die block on Malted Milk gets a push. Old Gamer Mike says all the Deadly Biscuits star players are doing more to the team paying them than the imps. Indeed they are. Yeah, there you go. So he's going to shift back to the right. Shifts back to the right, gets that pocket in place. And continuing to keep these threatening Black Orcs tied up. Doing a real great job here. Had a great showing all competition long. Why is the right side of the screen flashing? What's going on? Good 3+ dodge. Lots of tackle zones between the Orc squad and the Imperial Nobility squad. Uphill block on Crunch Cream's Golden. That's going to be a vote down result. Kidding me. Ended up being a good trade. Got the stun on the troll. Fungus the Loon. Spin! Spin, you madman! Third-eye block on Anthony Weiner. Hey, finally! It doesn't get anything out of it. Gets the knockdown. Gets a mark on Private, the number 6 bodyguard. Two-die block on Woody, the number 5 bodyguard here. We'll get a pow. But remember, these bodyguards have stand firm so they can stay in place. But he's going to be removed. He's not staying in place. He's got a spot over on the sideline. Well done. Good removal here. Deadly Biscuits still not out of this game. This ball's still on the Kind Peacock's own 12-yard line. One-die blitz. Got a pow out of this great blitz by Tim Tam. No armor break. Still has some movement left. Tim Tam's going to get into position behind Bourbon Creams, just outside the right wide zone. Final quarter begins now. Turn 13 for the Kind Peacocks. They're in the lead 1-0, hoping to win this game and solidify, or help to solidify, their first place spot in Division A. This is their final game of regulation. They will have the bye in week 7. Will Dickey runs forward, full movement. Is now on the opposing 4-yard line. Here's the blitz on that goblin. They got into position. Tim Tam gets a push here. Spends the reroll, wants the knockdown. He'll get it thanks to tackle. Well done. Very impressive positioning this team. Such a hard team that demands precision positioning, right? To get those pitch control skills. But you can see it goes beyond that here. He had the tackle player into position to take the block on the goblin, to negate that dodge skill, to ensure or to increase his odds of getting the knockdown on a goblin. Very well done. Iron Cynic says, I'm thinking, can I get another score if I'm a kind sir? Maybe so. Yeah, if he can do it, he absolutely clinches the game. It's 3 more SPP as well. Needs to control this section critically right here to prevent anybody getting in on this ball. And that's a way to do it. 2 rushes, gets Richard Long in a position. Turn 13 for the Deadly Biscuits. In bad shape here. They're going to need to get ahead of this ball if they're going to stop the score at all. They have 1 reroll left. Fungus the Loon spins around the pitch. You're gonna push Malted Milk. Fungus, come on, bro. Malted Milk, get on the screen there. Show us you're worth something. 2-9 block by Jaffa Snakes. Stands up and repositions Crunch Golden Creams. Or Crunch Creams Golden. Gets KO here. This is a decent KO, but really needs to get in position on this turn or else he's not going to be able to stop the score. These Black Orcs and these Trolls, always good to get the knockdown if you can, just because their MA4 costs 3 MA to stand up, so they move just 1 space without rushing on the stand-up. Very similar to Dwarves in that regard. Wang Chung II gets knocked down and fends off his blocker. "15 seconds on the clock for the Deadly Biscuits. They need to make something happen on this turn if they want to stay alive in this game. Still have their blitz. Oh, that's not it. That's not it. Oh boy, tried to make something happen, failed the dodge again. That is unfortunate for the Deadly Biscuits. Just fell on his head. And now Little Dicky going to advance to the opposing 18-yard line and will be unopposed. It's the assist on Choco Gobnobs. Currently a 1 die skilled one die skilled block. Nope, it's going to dodge away to protect the ball carrier instead. Some of these blockworks could have marked Little Dicky, and he's deciding to get that protection on just in case. Had the free reroll with dodge to make it safe. And now an uphill block on Fungus the Loon. That's Rodney's going to get knocked down and badly injured. That's all right. That's all right, Rodney. Turn 14 for Deadly Biscuits. Tried to take a pot shot at the star player, didn't work out. Deadly Biscuits now on turn 14. I think the best they can do is take a mark, maybe? Yeah. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. It's the best they can do. Fungus Saloon's gonna spin around the pitch. Just going back and forth. Oh, come on, leave Jaffa Snakes alone! Why do you hate these guys so much, Fungus? What did they do to you? 1 rush, 2 rush, that's the mark. That's all he can really do unless Party Fling gets in here as well. Take the block on Humongous, and then Party Fling can try to dodge in and take another mark. Unlikely that it'll stop the score, but anything you can do to make your opponent want to roll dice. The problem is you'll still have a positive dodge, so once the odds flip, right? Once you start making him roll enough dice where he's like, you know what, actually the 3+ with a reroll is better, I'm just going to do that. He's gonna throw a troll or throw a goblin. He's gonna hope for the best here. Slow motion while he's in the air. While he's waiting for the reroll. Tried to get Tim Tam into position. Tim Tam could not land on his feet. He'll be stunned. Coming up on turn 15 here for a kind sir. More than likely. Yeah, oh boy, there it is. There was that Party Fling dodge. Took the block! Took the block, only got a push out of it. Knew that there was a 3+ dodge away. And now Kind Peacocks. We'll see if they just go ahead and score here. Nope. Well, maybe, yup. Turn 15. Or if they can stall this out for another turn, which I think they can at this point. I think they'll be okay for another turn. Party Fling is prone, but can only get here. Tim Tam is stunned. So the ball can just scoot out to the left, and I don't think anybody can get there. Other than these two players. You can see run pad. Enraged in the picture. Just gonna go ahead and score. Didn't want to risk those blackworks coming onto the ball carrier, and that's gonna clinch the game. 2-0 for the Kind Peacocks. A little bit left in this game. Two to 0. Not much the Deadly Biscuits can do here to win this game. Maybe they can get on the board if they're lucky. But the Kind Peacocks are going to win this one, and they're going to end week 6 in first place with a fantastic showing here in regulation. Very well done by Kind Sir. Tried to argue the call here. Failed to argue with the ref once more. Now the Kind Peacocks to set up their defense. They only have 8 taken to the pitch. It's going to be 9v8 on the pitch. 1-man player advantage for the Deadly Biscuits. They have 2 turns left to get on the board. We'll see if they can do it. Tough matchup going into this, I think, for the Deadly Biscuits. It was just really, really hard. It's not often, I think, that you say, oh, it's a tough matchup up against Imperial Nobility. But I think the skills on paper and the positionals on paper and just how it shook out for this matchup made it a tough matchup for the Deadly Biscuits. And on top of that, Akai Sir is just an excellent coach and really doing a bang-up job with this Imperial Nobility team. Both coaches, excellent coaches in their own right, of course. But Blood Bowl is a game with a lot of agency. There's lots and lots and lots and lots of decisions to make. And any one element can really turn the tide. It can be, you could have a great roster. You could have great skills. You could just be a good player of the game, a good coach. Or even serendipity, right? There's lots of things that you have to consider, and that means that not only do you have to be good at all those things, but you have to be able to pivot. You have to be able to not commit to just one thing, because if that plan falls apart, you have no backup. So run bad, just a real bad matchup here against an excellent coach. The cards were just really stacked against this team, but still put on a good showing, I think. And I mean, the secret weapons are really fun. I really love them. And still played a great game, in my opinion. Oh, man. Oh, I love Blood Bowl so much. Oh, sorry, little guy. Turn 16. Oh. Gamer Mike, thank you for the bits. Thank the Ranger. Welcome to the stream. This is never rush. That's right. That's right. Tries to throw Tim here in turn 6, and that'll be the game. Oh, BB Nut lowered the rush failure rate from 900% to 99%. Listen, the rules dictate it's 900% failure rate. You take the chance. Oh, man. Oh, that was a lot of fun. I wish we could see. I wish they didn't cut off the stats screen. I want to see the stats at the end of the game, but whatever. Let's take a look at the standings before we leave. Oh, all right. We'll check out that game real quick too. With that win, the Kind Peacocks are going to end regulation play in week 6 in first place with a record of 4-1-1, and that'll be the end of regulation for them. We'll see how the weeks shake out for the rest of the division and the competition. We have week 6 to finish and week 7 to go. Let's take a look, see if any of these other games are being played. All right, the Dead Poets on turn 14. They have the lead against Eric. This is Undead versus Dwarves. So it looks like a one-man player advantage for the Dead Poets. One-man player advantage for the Dead Poets. They're in the lead. Our Grudges with Nuffle currently has the ball. Isaiah Thomas, the level 2 runner, over in the right wide zone on the opposing 4-yard line, running out of time. This Dwarven team, very, very slow. They're very resilient, very bashy. Lots and lots and lots of guard on the roster. But they're very slow. If they're going to cage up, then that cage is only moving an MA of 4. The runners are the fastest players with an MA of 6. And so really all you have to do is just stay in front of a dwarven cage to stop them from scoring. But also you need to make sure you don't get beat up by by a whole bunch of doors. A kind sir with the raid. Thank you very, very much. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome to the stream. Congratulations on your victory this evening. Very well played. I even said in the pregame, I was like, it's not often that you say Imperial Nobility has an advantage. But, boy, you played very, very well. Yeah. I couldn't help myself. I ended up laughing when someone run Bad's dice. Of course, not laughing at him, just laughing at Nuffle. Yeah, that was awesome. Catching the bomb. Oh, yeah. Every dodge of the goblin failed. It was rough, but very fun to watch. Did I block against Thane here, the ghoul runner on the right side? Our grudges with Nuffle looking to open up a hole. They need to get in the scoring position here on turn 15, and they are a very, very slow team. Isaiah Thomas is the only one that can really do it. Two-die block on Winehouse gets a push. This is way back behind the line of scrimmage. If the Deadly Biscuits can pull out a victory here, they will end up in second place in Division A. Griff Oberwald, the hero, the man of the hour. There it is. Oh, failed the second rush. Needs to re-roll this. Good 3+ dodge. Two good rushes by Isaiah Thomas. Now to get some protection from Harrison the Mummy. Doesn't want to eat that block. Yeah, there we go. Hank the Ranger graciously lowering the rush failure rate down to a measly 99%. Anybody can succeed at that. Turn 15 for the Dead Poets now. The Dead Poets finding all their players marked as they need to be. Doesn't have break tackle on the Mummy. Gets a dodge push on Griff Oberwald. Kind Sir cheering for this Dwarven team. The Dead Poets need to stop this score. That's one mark on Isaiah Thomas. Joplin blitz most likely. Cobblestone BB rooting for this defense. Wants this undead team to stop the score. Old Gamer Mike, thank you for the bits. Also cheering for this undead team. Took the mark with Hendricks II just ahead of Isaiah Thomas. And now here's the blitz. Gonna come in from the front on the rush. Two-die blitz. Gets the knockdown on Isaiah Thomas. Very well done by the Dead Poets. And Griff just one space away from a touchdown. has to be careful that he doesn't give up a push. Doesn't look like he will. Oh, Gamer Mike says, we'll never cheer for dwarves. Turn 16 for our grudges with Nuffle. I don't think they have any way to score at this point. Good blitz by the Dead Poets. I think Griff's the only potential threat. He's all the way over here, and he's one space out, and can't really get a push to get Griff one space forward. Gets a KO, and Cobain, the little two white blitzer. BB Nut says, though a dwarf win does help me. Did I block online? I was just looking for some SVP at this point. Another armor break here. Another armor break, and it looks like maybe some infectious disease. Double pals on Alexander, the injured level 2 lineman. 9+ breaks armor. Another armor break. And another trip to the doctor. Never punch somebody with flies flying around their head. You know you know you're going to be on antibiotics for a week. Dodge, rush, blitz by Griff. Gets the knockdown on Morrison. Takes the GG foul on the right side of the pitch, gets nothing out of it. One dive block on Laura Dern here, gets nothing out of it. BB Nut asks, is Griff not in scoring range? It's his final turn. Griff was one space out anyway. And S. Beaver wisely didn't give him an opportunity to set up a push block to get Griff into position. Oh, Gamer Mike asks, Undead does not have a scoring threat, do they? They don't. It would have to be on a Ghoul Runner, and they're all back here. Uphill block on Lennon. This will be a both standing result or a push. I guess it doesn't matter. And then an uphill on Harrison to end this game will be a skull. Oh, he's going to spend the team reroll. It's going to be a push instead. The ball, why not? Yeah, push on to the... Final, the Dead Poets are going to win it 1-0. Congratulations to S. Beaver. This win's going to propel them back into second place. Looking for some SPP to close out this game. Dead Poets could conceivably win this division by a wide margin. Wide margin. And that'll be it. 1-0 to win this one. Congratulations to S. Beaver on the victory. So with that victory, the Dead Poets are going to end week 6, but they're going to be in second place currently in Division A. They played their final game of this not of the competition. They played at 4-1-1 going into the cut to top 4. They're going to try to hang on to that spot and make the cut. Even if so long as they are the best placing second team, they will, or second place team, they will advance to the cut, and they look in good shape to do that. The Dead Poets have one more game to play, though. They'll play in week 7. If they win, they will have a tie record with the Kind Peacocks. It's 13 points apiece. The first tiebreaker would be who beat whom, however, and I don't know who. Let me look it up real quick. See, Kind Peacocks? Nope. Kind. A Kind Sir said we drew. All right. Well, then if it's a draw, the next tiebreaker would be TD differential, and you can see the Kind Peacocks have a 6+ right now, which would mean the Dead Poets would need to win by 4 touchdowns in order to take first place. But if they could break the tie, because then after that they'd be tied at TD differential. The final tiebreaker is how many touchdowns you've scored. 4 in 10. That it's not. You know what? I was gonna say it happened, but who knows? They win 4-0. But otherwise, if they can finish with a record of 4-1-1, they'll be in great shape to make the cut as well. So, congratulations once again to the Dead Poets and to Peacocks here in Division A. That was a lot of fun. Let's take a look at the schedule before we leave, shall we? Coming up next, we have a double September 14th starting at 5:00 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's UTC -4. We have Never Gonna BFC Chime versus BB Nut. That will be Orcs versus Undead. That'll be a fun one. We're going to follow that up at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time with the Bone Breakers boys Galeshi versus Old Gamer Mike. That's Black Orcs versus Necro. Then this Sunday, September 15th at 7 p.m., we have the Force of Flames versus Subductus Super Killicopters, JD Whitey versus Berserker Tempest, Wood Elves versus Underworld. Then on Monday, September 16th at 10 o'clock, we have Street Fighters Turbo Max versus Cenozoic Park, Ian versus Nick Satan, Chaos versus Lizards. 2 more games left to be scheduled. And when those games get scheduled, you'll be able to check out and get alerted to those schedules on at maml.club. That's MAML.c here on Twitch or on our social media pages on Blue Sky, Twitter, and Facebook. You can also watch previous games on our YouTube channel. Play Blood Bowl, man. This game is so much fun. Where else? What other sports game? What strategy game? What other can you fling a ball and pick up a teammate, chuck him down pitch, bag of bombs, throw the bomb, and throws the bomb back at you? You can play Blood Bowl via Blood Bowl 3 on Steam, the Epic Game Store, PlayStation, and Xbox, and in tabletop form at your friendly local game store. All right, until Saturday, September 14th at 5 p.m. Take care, everybody. Rest of your Thursday evening.